called the Madison Forum. Has anyone heard of the Madison Forum? I went to a meeting today in Marietta, and it was based on James Madison, one of the founding fathers, or real close to that. And the forum consists of people who are interested citizens who want to talk amongst each other and discuss the Constitution. It could be a snoozer for some of you, but it was really, really interesting. I mean, if you really care about what's going on right now, I don't know if there's one in this part of town, but I know there's one in Marietta. They do it twice a month. Mondays during lunch, and then they do it Saturdays during the day. It was really neat. I just wanted to throw that out there because it's supposed to be educational, and I learned something, and it was kind of neat, and I thought I'd pass it on to everybody else. So with that said, I'm off the grid today because Jim did a wonderful job, and I don't want to beat a broken horse. I am running on less government. Dave, what's less government? We're constantly hearing everyone wants less government. What's your definition of less government? Well, when I go to these forums, debates, I'll hear from people in Clayton County or Douglas County, well, what are you going to do for Clayton County? What are you going to do for Douglas County? And I hear my opponents say they're going to build railways to Savannah. It's not the federal government's job. I am running for a federal office. The federal office should stop coming up with ways to fix our lives. They've done that over and over again. Now we have agencies on top of agencies. They should do things like seal the borders, not fight states who are trying to defend our borders. Thank you so much. And the backside of that is states' rights. I am for less government, but I mean less federal government. I am not for anarchy. We need a strong state, strong county, strong community. That's who should be educating our children, not the federal government. That's who should be taking care of our insurance, not the federal government. They should not be telling us you have to buy insurance. You know it's fundamentally wrong. Every one of us knows it. They know it, but they won't say it because it's about taxes. The first thing they do is hire tax agents. It's a tax and control problem for them. How can they get their finger in this cookie jar and never get it out again? The only way we can do that is by putting people into office this November who squeeze the money from them, and then when we get a president up there, we'll hopefully repeal it, but unless we have a monster wave and we have 2/3 majorities, we can expect that we're going to just be able to tighten the money, get a Republican in office, and then get this monstrous legislation out of our lives. Also by less government, I don't know how many of you have read or heard Dick Morris speak about what's going on in Alabama. The oil spill, the governor, Bob Riley in Alabama, as soon as there is an oil spill, goes into emergency mode. Okay, let's protect our shoreline. Let's go out and get booms from across the world. Meanwhile, countries from across the world are contacting our president and saying, we want to help you. Nope, we've got this under control. We've got BP here. We're going to hold their feet to the fire. We've got this under control.
Yeah, right.
Right. Well, that's his stance. Because we're a big, tough federal government. We're going to take care of this. So meanwhile, Alabama's like, okay, well, what's states' rights? We're going to take care of ourselves. We're going to protect our shoreline. So they go out and get booms, deep water booms, to keep the oil away from their lands. Well, then James Carville gets up and starts raising craziness. Hey, President, come over here. Come over here and fix Louisiana. What do? Thank you, Alabama. We're going to move these booms over here to Louisiana. Come on, federal government's doing this. That is so wrong for so many reasons. Alabama doesn't stop. They say, okay, you've got jurisdiction over us. We're going to push some sand out and protect our shoreline. We're going to build some barges out there with some sand to protect the shoreline. In comes FEMA, not FEMA, EPA. No, you can't do that because the endangered sea turtles are going to die. Come on, they're going to die when the oil hits them. Right? Am I talking craziness up here? But they had to stop because of the sea turtles that are going to die because you disturb their habitat. Meanwhile, the oil balls are rolling in. What does Alabama do? They haven't stopped yet. Well, we're going to go out there and we're going to pick up the oil. We're going to scoop it up and sweep it up and collect it up. Hold on, OSHA steps in. Occupational Safety Hazard Association, or whatever nonsense it is. You can't do this for so many hours a day because, that's going to be, cruelty to humans, or whatever that craziness is. But that's what you're dealing with big government. This could have been handled so many different ways if you kept in the mentality of less government. Get help from other countries when they offer it. Don't say, oh, I'm big and powerful, I got this on my own. I'm going to hold BP's feet to the fire. Nonsense. You don't know how. You don't know the oil business. Don't pretend you do. Get people in who know the oil business, who have cleaned up oil spills. Get them in here. Let them fix the problem. So that's where I am for that. I'm also for less regulation. Less regulation? What are you talking about? We've got an oil spill. Well, part of the reason we have an oil spill is because we're making them drill a mile deep in the water. That's just not, it's not sensible, folks. We have ANWR, an area where we're supposed to drill on land. We're not doing it because Alaskans want us to. But the liberals in this country have said, no, no, no. What about the polar bear? Well, I'm sorry, if there's a drill and there's a drilling on land, it's a lot easier to clean up than the one a mile deep in the water. So the fair tax, now I'm going to give you my passion on the fair tax. He hit almost everything, but I have to because I truly love the fair tax. And I think this one piece of legislation could really save and rescue this country. If we should be so bold as to pass the fair tax, across the world, money is going to flood to America because we're going to be treated as a safe haven. We're going to be the Switzerland, except that we've got the production capabilities that Switzerland doesn't have. People that have come rushing here with money. And whenever you have problems in business, money saves everything almost every time. If you've got some cost control issues and all of a sudden you have a windfall, well, you're all right. You can breathe again. You can still have to fix those cost control problems. But that's what the fair tax will do to this country. It'll get employment back in position. It'll bring in investments, create wealth, make America feel good about America again. It's kind of neat. And then what are you going to do with all those tax agents? I can't keep credit for this, but I love the sound of it. You take them and spin them around on the federal government and say, hey, what are you doing to account for yourself? I love that idea. I mean, that was just a fabulous idea. So I don't have all the answers, but when I hear the good ones, I pass them on. What else? Freedom from excessive. Of course, the spending is just ludicrous. They're creating agencies. None of us would ever, if we found ourselves in a jam, well, let's spend our way out of this. We're going to double down on this. Of course we wouldn't. We know that's not right. You know it's not right. So we should not be creating czars and agencies. And more importantly, it comes right back down to when you have a problem, don't ask a federal politician for a solution. First of all, ask yourself, can I solve this? Can we as a community solve it? You know, C-TRAN, I heard about the problem with C-TRAN. I am not an in-depth, I don't live in Clayton. I've just read about it, so I've got a top-of-the-line kind of knowledge of the subject. But what I did hear was when it started to shut down, individuals were rising up and doing shuttles. The free market was doing this. I don't know how successful it was, but instantly the free market jumped. Rather than go to the federal government and say, give me billions, the free market jumped up and said, hey, maybe I can make a buck or two doing this because there's a need. There's a need in the marketplace, the free market reacts. And thank you so much, folks.